Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Random Hero, and today we're doing a video on the OnePlus 2. I just received it about a week ago. Just want to kind of go over it, let you know what I think. So far it's been kind of up and down. As you can see here, it's got a very nice presentation to it. The box that they send, it's very nice. The shipping, other than the mess ups with the post office, was very good. In the box, you basically get the what am I trying to say? The instructions, which, you know, it's basic for every phone, same thing. It does come with the C-type cable, which you can see right above the box there, or the Type C. Basically, that allows you to put it in the phone either way, as opposed to the mini USB, micro USB, which is basically one way. So let's kind of go over the phone a little bit. Let's get that out of the way, and here's the end of the Type C. If that'll zoom in there. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. But yeah, it works really well. They do have these available on Amazon for like a mobile charge or whatnot, because obviously that was the big contention with getting that, because you can't just use everything that you've had from before. So the phone is nice. I like the build quality. It feels like a very what is it? Quality build. On the bottom here, that's where your jack is. The speaker is not great, if we're being completely honest. Just for normal play without using a headset or anything like that, the speaker is not great. On the side here, you have your volume up and down, and you have your power button. On the top, you do have your headset, and then on the other side here is kind of something different. It's a notification type button, so you can actually turn off your notifications, which I've done on accident sometimes. So it's not the greatest location as far as on the side right there. I've accidentally turned on the that setting and stop receiving phone calls. It basically turns it on like priority or no notifications at all. So now if we look at the phone here, it does have the double tap feature to wake it up. This is not great. I'm shooting this from an S5, which is obviously not the greatest phone either. So what we're going to do is we're going to just open up the phone here. Let's see if we can get a better view on this thing. So the phone, it seems, for the most part, it is snappy. Everything works. Let me see if I can autofocus this thing here. No? Okay. Well, ultimately, the apps, it doesn't matter what they look like, because they're just apps. The phone is quick. Let's just run a test right now. Let's close everything out, and we're just going to run a test. I'll run a, let's see. We'll just run a benchmark so you can kind of see. Then I'm going to go over a couple things on it. It is using, I believe it is the 5.1 currently, Android. Yeah, it's using 5.1.1, as you can see there, with the Oxygen OS. It's supposed to be getting Marshmallow soon, from what I've seen. And you can see there, it's got 4 gigs of RAM. It's got 64 gigs of internal storage. So let's back out of here. Where is that at? We will run Geekbench. And you can see there the CPU speed is 1.56 with, like I said, shows 4 gigs, but here it's showing 3.62. It has the Snapdragon 810, the Qualcomm MSM 8994, whatever that means, because, Spectre specs, whatever. So let's go ahead and run this benchmark test. I've gotten different scores ranging from about 4,600, I think was my highest. It's gotten 41. When I first got it out of the box, it actually ran about, not good. I think it was like in the 2000s, something like that. What I read online is that sometimes it doesn't kick in the other cores or whatnot, which I don't know about that. I mean, that's kind of weird, but a lot of times they tell you to do, like a factory default, stuff like that. It can kind of kick in. I set up the phone. I reset it the next day just to reboot, not reset, because, setting up a phone is not fun if you got to continually do it. And obviously, you don't pay a lot of money to have to constantly reboot your phone, reset it up. So I have had some issues, and I will go over that at this point. What has happened is the phone has just locked up on me where it's gotten a black screen. And like the other day or yesterday, it took about 20 minutes for it to come back. 20 to 30, and I hadn't even hardly used it. It was in the morning. And you can see the score there, 32, 38, and a 733. Not awful, but you kind of expect more because this phone, it priced at, and they actually just lowered the price. It runs $349, which is not bad for the specs that it has. But still, I don't care how much you pay, the phone shouldn't lock up. I had the exact same issue with locking up on phones that I've customized with ROMs and stuff like that, and the ROMs weren't stable. But on something like this, where I haven't touched it and it's out of the box running like that, not good. I mean, I am working with them right now. We'll see what happens. But the other day, on Saturday, it was something where, I mean, I literally couldn't even get the screen to come on for probably at least an hour and a half. Which I find to be, it's not acceptable. And we'll see how that goes. I emailed them. They responded fairly quickly. They said they want to have kind of a powwow session, I guess, and go over what could be possibly wrong with it. I think at this point, could be a faulty device, could be something else. I did factory default it last night, and today, or yesterday, like I said, it locked up, but today it has not. It's been fine. One of the things that people said about it is that it could potentially be something where it's overheating because of a kernel issue, and that it is, so there you go. The same, right around the same. It was, I think, 3,300. Now, the buttons are actually really nice. You have your button here. It's basically the what is it? Where you can bring up the apps and close everything out. Over here is the back button, and then right here is your home button, which is nice. And the buttons work fine. The camera is nice. It actually takes really snappy pictures. So we can fire up the camera here, and we'll just take a picture. And it actually takes really good pictures. But you can see, I mean, it's instantly. So that's one good thing about this phone, is the camera does work. I haven't had any issues where it just didn't work. So, and like I said, today, I haven't had any issues with, as far as locking up, and, we'll see what happens. So, at this point, like I said, it's a good phone. If we get the issues resolved with it, I think for the price point and the performance, because I haven't had any issues with locking up on games. Games play well. And it has not shut off on a game on me. It's actually when I'm not doing anything with it, I'll go to use it and it's just not there. Like I said, I don't work for this company. I don't, support, as far as they're not my sponsor or anything like that. So I'm going to be real with you and tell you, we'll see what happens. I've seen good reviews on this phone, and I've seen not so good reviews on this phone. So I will keep you informed. And until then, like I said, it's up to you whether you want to go for it. It is from when the times that it does work, it works fine and it works well. But the times where it's locking up and you can't use it, that's not acceptable. So the battery life, that's one last thing I will talk about. The battery works pretty well. I usually get through a day, which is pretty good because I use a lot of, I like Google Play Music. I'm a music guy, and music is life for me. So I'm always listening to music. So yeah, I mean, that's one thing. If I can last a day without having to sit on the charger all the time, then I'm cool with that. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks again.